think, you know, supporting local as much as you possibly can only be a good thing. But I think ultimately what really has to change is the way we view food and the way we treat it. We have a very odd relationship with food here in the UK, I think, in that we don't really value it. We think it should be as cheap as possible. We don't worry about wasting it. You know, people throw out astonishing amounts of food every week, as do the supermarkets. You know, as I say, we have this very odd, rather disparaging relationship with our food, and yet it is an astonishing, you know, it's the thing that keeps us alive, it's the thing that keeps us healthy. Why not spend money on food and spend money on an expensive car? I don't get that. You know, food is the thing that's going to keep you alive, your car isn't. But also, you know, the reality is the world population is growing, the climate is changing, things like water resources are going to decrease more and more as time goes on. Pressure on land is going to become, you know, ever more intense. We are going to have to really start understanding about where our food comes from, how it's produced, and we need to pay for it properly, because I think if we paid what food actually costs to produce and we pay nothing like what it's really worth, what its true value is, perhaps we would stop wasting so much of it. Perhaps we would eat differently. Perhaps we would eat more, going back to that subject of people only wanting the choice cuts of an animal. Well, actually some of the cheaper cuts are delicious, we've just forgotten how to eat them. I think there needs to be a huge cultural shift in the consumer, and then the farmer can respond to that. At the moment, the consumer is king. We want cheap eggs, you have battery hens. You know, do you want that? Well, if you're only going to eat cheap eggs, that's what you're going to get. So the consumer needs to shift their ideas, shift the way that they eat, and then farmers could respond in a way that is much more sustainable, much better for our land, ultimately much better for our health.